In this tutorial, we will look at how to create your own interpreter. So the explanation will make much more sense if I directly jump onto an example. Let's say you have a task something like this. So you have an image and it has multiple labels like 0, 1, 2. For second one it's 0, 2. Third one it's 6. So now you have such multiple labels and you want to have an interpreter which tries to duplicate the same image for 0, for 1, for 2. It's not exactly multi-label because cross-label information is completely lost, but this is just an illustration. So how to create such an interpreter? Thankfully I've just created it and uploaded it. So you will find that inside this multi-label folder. Just open it. Here you will find mainly 3 functions: getLines, operate and getLabels. GetLines returns like how many times you have to duplicate the data. Operate will tell you how give you the blob, return the blob of the data, and the getLabels will return the label. Now you will wonder why I am having a getLines function separately when I am directly returning the like the operate thing, when I am directly returning the blobs. This is because getLines, when you have getLines function, it will return me the total number of lines or the index in the HDFI file, which will help me to do pre-allocation of data. And the second one, and the thing is the getLabels function, which is pretty intuitive, just like returns the label. Similarly, I have another kind of example, which is variable crop. Let's just look at the example. So whenever you go into any of the folders, the first thing you should do is to run this shell script, which will internally create this txt files, include the txt files. So, be it multi-label or this variable crops, you have to do this thing. This is to customize according to your system. So now variable crops also, let's see. It has 2 arguments. So this is the first argument and the second argument. The first argument, so the first line here is always something called static arg. Just let me open separately. So here if you see the static arg thing, the static arg is nothing but the first line always. So that is what is the static arg. The line is this thing. So what the static arg is getting is the first argument is if it is separated by the space, the first thing is the path to images, and the second one is the path to the crop text files. Let's see what is there in the crop text files. So I will just close it and open the crops. It has txt files. Just let me open one of them. Here you will find the bounding box dimensions along with the label information. So there will be very similar formats if you go to for MSR, Cuckoo or Pascal dataset or Sun or then Oxford, anything. So they have some similar kind of bounding box, Bing, anything. So these kind of formats will be just very frequent when you deal with the tasks. So you need to create your own custom interpreter all the times. So that's why the interpreter that you are observing below is customized for that task. The getLines will return me the total number of bounding boxes by reading the txt file. And the second one, this will return me, it will crop the image and return the full concatenated block, this operate function. The labels will return me the labels. R1 and R2 are optional, so they will appear on the augmentation view right now, which will be later on shifted to interpreter thing. But we don't need right now, so let's not worry about them. This is a basic tutorial. Now let's go back to, let me just close this. Let's go to how this now these files you saw here, the functions. So these function files are the ones which we have to include. So where to include? Let's see. You have to include them, these function files, variable crop func and the multi-level func, inside the augmentation So here inside this augmentation folder you will find this interpreter text or text. If you open this, you will find this variable crop func. Here also you have this, so I have just copied it already. And this function, it's very intuitive. So this message, which is interpreter, will have argument as first argument as name. The type is always direct right now, which I will make variable later. This function direct name is the file name which you have to there. This is the name by which it will appear in the list. So just once you add this entry inside this prototext file, all you need to do is just open the Run Espresso. So now the real fun begins. Let's just try to do the same thing. So just I will load. Go to the same tutorials, tutorial 11. First I will do multi-label thing. This multi-label include. I will save it by name multi-label. Okay, and first click on this augment data, which will be replaced by an interpreter in the next version of the code. Just right now it's so then just add it to the right list, click OK, and this multi-label is done. So the same image is appearing multiple times with a different label. So this kind of application may help. Let's say it's also car and it's also a vehicle. So such kind of multi-level data you have to train redundant, so may help. So that kind of augmentation. The second one I will do is variable crop. So just select the variable crop into txt. I'll save it by name variable crop. Augmentation of data, yeah. I'll remove this thing, add a variable crop, and then click OK. You can see variable crop thing is also created. Here you can see that the image is cropped. See, it has different crops. Also the labels are also different, as you can see. So this kind of thing can be really very helpful. Like you have some bounding box proposals by Bing or the selective search or something, and you want to work with it, it can be really helpful. So you can create your own interpreter. That's the whole purpose and design, that the Espresso has something like core design, and the auxiliary design can be developed by a lot of users, and it can simply be integrated, as simple as that. So the integration is made quite simple by this interpreter facility. Just try to use well, create your own interpreters, and also if you have some standard datasets, just contribute to the source code. That's all I want.